Hello, this is the Tradesight U.S. Stocks and Futures Market Preview for Wednesday, the 5th of August, 2015. Here's a look at the ES front-month futures contract. Nothing new to say, really. We did not have a very interesting session and certainly didn't take us far away from where we've been. We're still above that 2062.50 cosmic area on the ES. It's the flat blue line on this chart. That's been the magic number that's been pulling us like a magnet for the last 7 months or so. We are in August. Volume closed out the session today. Let's take a look at that number first. 1.6 billion, just down barely from the prior day. It's still better than some of the days we saw in July, which is interesting. So you have the potential for some movement. It's just not happening much so far this week. The best move was midday on Monday. S&P lost 4 points. Here's a look at the NASDAQ 100. NDX lost 13. Pretty much both of them had an inside day to Monday's action. The stocks lost 7, and this is the one to watch, I think, here, because this does not look pretty by any stretch. And that heading lower would be a catalyst for the broad market, I would think. The biotechs did manage to move up 14 points. Google lost 3.5, keeping it in a very narrow range that it's been in now for 8 days. Apple, cause for concern, down 3.8, $3.80. We talked about the fact that it needed to go back and fill that gap that you see in January, the gap up session. So Apple has been very flat. Of course, this doesn't help the semis or the tech sector at all when Apple's falling apart. So if Apple continues lower, there's a gap to fill back at 100. And boy, just doesn't look good for the biggest stock in the world. VIX climbed just 44 cents, pretty much meaningless. Oil closed at 46.95. Back up a little bit, and actually that's not showing on this chart. It did close up a little bit today. There we go, at $46. Sorry, took a minute for that last candle to appear. Gold down another $1.70, threatening the lows that it's been seeing here. We've got the trend at 1.02 for the close, and that brings the 10-day moving average to 1.17, which is nothing to worry about. Advance decline ratio, 2 days in a row, decliners have led advancers, although today only by about 50 shares on the NASDAQ, not a big deal. So, what does that say about tomorrow? Not much. It is summertime. We can get some clean move days during summer with some of the bigger players out, but we didn't get much movement at all here on Tuesday. We've got the NBA mortgage index coming out at 7 a.m. Eastern time, ADP employment change at 8:15 a.m. Eastern time, and then an hour before the bell is trade balance. It's a big number that can cause a gap. 30 minutes into the market, ISM services, an hour into market, crude oil inventories. Later in the week, we still have the unemployment rate and the non-farm payroll data. So there's plenty of data ahead to give us some movement if there's anything shocking to the market. And hopefully we'll get a reasonable trading day somewhere in here. We will keep plugging away in the lab as usual. Charts brought to you by eSignal. If you have not taken a trial of our services, feel free to do so. And if you do find these videos useful, please like them on YouTube. It does help us out. We'll be in the lab. Have a good week.